Did you know that you can get all the protein you need on a vegan diet without even touching tofu, vegan protein powder, or tempeh? Like, what the hell even is that? I've been vegan for 5.5 years and have gotten into the best shape of my life. And I realized that you can get all the protein you need with just 2 common foods. So in this video, I'll show you exactly what they are, why they work, and how to build them into your diet so you never have to overthink vegan protein again. But first, you need to know the main mistake millions of people make about protein, and nowhere is that more clear than on social media. You see, it seems like everywhere you turn in the nutrition and fitness space, you see these huge recommendations for protein, 1 gram per pound.
You should be eating 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight.
Even up to 2 grams per pound.
So here's what I recommend. Take your body weight in pounds, multiply it by 10. That's how many calories you need each day. Make sure you're getting 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight to help you maintain the muscle.
And the sad part is, experts are coming out and saying this protein craze is hurting people's health. The truth is, you need way less protein than you think. According to dietary guidelines, the average woman needs around 45 grams of protein a day, and the average man needs around 55 grams. So for the average person eating 2,000 calories a day, that means you only need about 8% of your calories to come from protein. So what does that mean for you? It means that every time you eat a food that has 8% or more of its calories coming from protein, you're good. But how do you make sure you're doing that? Well, it actually plays out a lot like Monica and Friends.
Hey.
Now, for those of y'all not familiar, Monica is one of the main cast members of the show, and she spends a lot of the show, like many of us, trying to make something of herself, spend time with her friends, find someone to spend her life with, live in a giant-ass New York apartment. And here's the thing. Throughout the show, she goes on dates meeting these handsome men like Tom Selleck. I mean, look at that stash, y'all. But she never really is able to find someone with staying power. That is, until midway through the show, she has an unexpected romantic encounter with another one of the main cast members, Chandler. After their mutual initial shock, they end up realizing they were meant for each other all along, get married, and then get overshadowed by Rachel and Ross for the rest of the show. But anyways, the thing is, Chandler had been there the whole time. Monica just hadn't realized it yet. And that's exactly what it's like with our insatiable appetite for protein. All the protein we need has been sitting right in front of our eyes this whole time, but most people completely miss it. So what's this protein that's been hiding in plain sight? Well, my friends, it's rice and beans. Now, I know it sounds boring, but the possibilities with these 2 foods are actually endless. But before I show you what I mean by that, I'm going to prove to you that these 2 foods will get you a ton of protein. If we look at black beans, 20% of their calories come from protein. That's already 2.5 times more than what you need to hit your minimum requirements. And white rice, well, that has 8% of its calories coming from protein, so it's right on target. So if you just ate 2,000 calories worth of white rice and black beans, you'd get 80 grams of protein, which is way over the 45 to 55 grams most people need. But here's the thing. Do you want to be eating 2,000 calories of white rice and black beans every day? Probably not. That sounds terrible. And here's where the endless possibilities part comes in. When I say rice and beans, I'm not necessarily referring to black beans and white rice exclusively. In fact, beans fall into a food group called legumes, which include lentils, chickpeas, and split peas. And any of those will do for the bean portion of the meal. But where it gets really good is that you can also swap out that rice for any whole grain, like quinoa, farro, bulgur, and buckwheat. And by doing so, you make the protein numbers look even better. Because on average, these whole grains tend to have 50 to 100% more protein than white rice. For example, if we swap in bulgur instead of white rice for the 2,000 calorie day, you're now getting 97 grams of protein, 17 grams more than before. And that's now around double the minimum requirement. Plus, when you swap out white rice for a whole grain, you're getting more fiber that'll keep you full and promote healthy digestion. Plus, whole grains tend to be packed with more vitamins and minerals that your body needs. And so you may have started picking up on this, but one huge advantage of not only whole grains, but also legumes is the package the protein comes in. For example, they have no cholesterol and are very low in saturated fat, which might be why a higher ratio of plant protein, like what's found in these foods, to animal protein may improve heart health. Whole grains specifically are high in fiber, B vitamins, iron, copper, zinc, magnesium, antioxidants, and phytochemicals, and a huge meta-analysis, including more than 786,000 people, found that people who ate 70 grams a day of whole grains compared with those who ate little or no whole grains had a 22% lower risk of total mortality, a 23% lower risk of cardiovascular disease mortality, and a 20% lower risk of cancer mortality. And 70 grams over a day is not hard, y'all. That's literally just a bowl of oatmeal. You definitely don't want to miss out on these super easy to get health benefits. And you know I can't make a video about beans without mentioning that just 20 grams of legumes a day is associated with an 8% reduction in premature death. That's barely 2 tablespoons worth, so another example where you get huge benefits even with small diet tweaks. Don't miss out on these health benefits, y'all. Each legume and whole grain has its own unique properties and textures, so you can mix and match them, and that way you unlock a whole world of different combinations. You don't even have to come up with them yourself. Cultures around the world have been eating their own delicious versions of rice and beans for centuries. For example, you got Indian dal with rice, Turkish pilav with chickpeas, Palestinian majadara, and Italian pasta e fagioli. But you also don't have to always eat legumes and grains together either. By eating them separately, you can expand the possibilities of including these in your diet even more. What do I mean by that? Well, you can have buckwheat pancakes in the morning and chickpea pasta in the afternoon. I bet you never even thought about buckwheat pancakes or chickpea pasta, huh? And that's my point. These foods come in so many forms nowadays, and it's become easier and easier to eat them. Many legumes are now available in pasta form in everyday supermarkets. You can get chickpea curries and bean chilies straight from the can. There are flours popping up made from different grains that you can use for baking. Even hummus is partly chickpeas, and that's becoming more and more available everywhere. And the basics are great too. You can have that warm bowl of oatmeal for breakfast, snack on edamame during the day, and have a lentil soup for dinner. And if all else fails, canned beans are always a reliable option. And even though on this channel I do try to show y'all easy everyday foods you can find anywhere, I also want to encourage y'all to have a culinary adventure with plant-based proteins and try loads of new foods you never had before. So even though at first, even just including basic legumes and whole grains in my diet was a big change, now I'm eating foods I never even knew existed before I was vegan. Today, I eat pancakes made from oats, brownies made from black beans, cookie dough made from chickpeas, and pasta made from lentils. And no, it's not gross. I've even been swapping in amaranth and quinoa for my oats in the morning, and I can't get enough. Now you might think, well, that doesn't apply to me where I live. All that variety doesn't exist. But you may be experiencing another Monica and Chandler moment. For example, I used to live in Italy, and there, the walls of the supermarket were lined with farro, white beans, and chickpeas. And I also used to live in Mexico, and there was amaranth and all kinds of beans. If you go to Jordan, you'll find bulgur and farike. And in France, you'll find more couscous and buckwheat than you've ever seen before. Sometimes it's right under your nose, you just never noticed them before. And apart from being extremely good for you and widely available, whole grains and legumes are some of the most sustainable sources of protein that can provide future generations all of the protein they need, because they only use a fraction of the resources animal protein uses. 100 grams of protein from legumes, for example, takes around 200 liters of water, but that same amount from beef would take over 700 liters of water, which is over 3.5 times more. That's why I always find it a bit funny that we pour billions of dollars into finding the next alternative protein when we already have enough. I mean, I don't know, what if we took some of that money and put it into educating people about the delicious and convenient options they already have? It's like, dog, we got dinner at home. That being said, you shouldn't only be eating rice and beans because you'll end up missing a lot of key nutrients and getting sick. So, how do you strike the right balance between getting enough protein and the rest of your nutrients? Check out this video next, where I show you exactly how to eat a balanced diet and build the perfect vegan plate every time.